Not sure if your toddler is ready to transition from 2 naps to 1? Let's make it easy. Hi, I am Sarah Bossio, and as the lead certified pediatric sleep expert at Your Zen Baby Sleep, I have helped over 650 families get the sleep that they need. And a big part of this is helping families through the many sleep and nap transitions that our children go through. I would love to give you the reasons as to why your children need to transition naps, when they will do that, and how we can make the transition smooth and easy. So let's talk about it. You might start to see the signs of the 2 to 1 nap transition right around the 13 to 15 month mark. Now, I will say a quick disclaimer. If your child is in daycare, many daycares will force, for lack of a better word, your child to go to 1 nap at 12 months. And that's okay. Our kids are resilient and they can handle a lot more change than we can as adults. So this is for kids who have a little more control over their naps and who aren't in a daycare setting. By 13, 14, or 15 months, your child's nap schedule may look something like nap 1 at 9:30, nap 2 at 1:30 or 2 o'clock, and bedtime somewhere around 7 or 7:30. 8 o'clock, the absolute latest for our little guys. And what you might start to see is that one of these naps, whether it's the morning or the afternoon, starts to become a little tricky. And what I mean by that is that the nap either is short, so your child is taking a long time to fall asleep for that nap and then wakes up very soon after they fall asleep, so it's like a half hour long, or they fall asleep right away and then it still is a half hour long. And then they still take a really long first or second nap. So they start to favor one nap over the other. And when this happens for about 2 weeks, then we can start to say that it is a new habit and not just like a one-off crappy nap day. Your toddler could also start to skip their nap altogether. When I see this happen, typically a toddler will take their first nap and then totally blow right by the second nap. Then they are on the hot mess express train before bedtime, and it is really tough to manage their behavior to get them to a normal 7 o'clock bedtime, and you end up needing to push bedtime to like 6 p.m. Again, this needs to happen for about 2 weeks in a row in order to say, okay, clearly your body is shifting its sleep needs and you are telling me because the naps are way off track. Alternatively, your toddler's naps may still be solid, but then you start to notice that bedtime is creeping later and later. So you could be putting your toddler into their crib at their normal 7 or 7:30 time, and they are having a party for 30, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour before they fall asleep. When this happens for 2 weeks, then you know, again, their sleep needs are changing. They don't need as much daytime sleep, or they just need more sleep pressure before the end of the last nap to bedtime in order to get them to a shorter sleep onset or a shorter amount of time before they fall asleep at bedtime. Less common, but still important to note, are night wakings and early morning wakings. Your toddler might have solid naps, their bedtime might be great, and then all of a sudden, your perfectly sleeping baby is going to start waking up when they haven't been waking up in the night for months and months. Or you'll see that they'll start waking up 30 or 60 minutes earlier in the morning. This is another sign that their sleep needs are shifting and we need to adjust their schedule. You have made the determination now that your toddler is ready to drop their nap. How do we do so? We want to do this gradually, step by step, because we want to prevent them from being overtired as much as possible. Here's a disclaimer, they're going to be tired. It is going to be a push to get their body to adjust to a new schedule. They're in this like awkward teenage stage of napping is what I like to call it, where they need the nap, but they don't need the nap, but they need the nap, and they're a hot mess regardless. So we just have to push them and really kind of dig deep for about 2 weeks as we help their body adjust to this new routine. I love to aim for about 11 o'clock for our 1 nap time in the first 3 to 4 days as we're making this 2 to 1 nap adjustment. I find that this isn't pushing them too far past their first nap time, prevents a little bit of overtiredness, and kind of places the nap in the middle middle of the daytime, and then allows us to have not a ton of time between the end of the nap and bedtime. So this is what your day would look like. You are going to have your toddler wake up at their normal time, and you're going to really push through, like keep them awake, get them outside, get them running around. Do not put them in a car or a stroller. We know that they're going to pass out and we're going to kind of blow it for the day. When it is about 10:30, it's going to seem ridiculous, but you will feed them lunch at that time. This is temporary. We will get them to a more normal lunchtime once the adjustment is made. Then at 11, you'll put them down for their nap. Ideally, what will happen if your toddler has independent sleep skills and great nap habits, they will sleep from 11 o'clock until whenever they wake up, which should be about 2 hours to 2.5 hours. If your toddler has always had really low sleep needs, it's possible that they might only sleep an hour and a half, but I see that generally at the 15-month mark, most children are sleeping at about the 2-hour time range. And now what do we do? Once 1 o'clock rolls around and you're staring down the black hole that is the rest of your afternoon. Again, you just have to dig deep and keep them awake, keep them occupied, keep them entertained. I don't want you to let them take a nap and take the edge off. What I'd like you to do is instead move your bedtime earlier. So if your bedtime is normally at 7:30, bring it an hour earlier to 6:30. It does not mean that they will wake up earlier. It just means that we are going to give them a little boost, prevent overtiredness, and give them some deep non-REM sleep to help keep their body adjusted to this nap transition. Every 3 or 4 days, push the schedule 15 minutes later. So it'll be 11:15, then you'll lock the nap in at 11:30, 11:45, 12 o'clock, until you land somewhere between 12 and 12:30, which is really the sweet spot for napping time. I love to give this tip, and my disclaimer is that I do not use wake windows beyond the age of 4 months old. So I am not timing the nap based on their wake up time. I am timing the nap based on their biological sleep need. We have a surge of melatonin in a very great number. Melatonin is our sleeping hormone. This comes at about 12 o'clock. It runs through about 1 o'clock. If we put our children down sometime between 12 and 1 o'clock for their nap, they are going to get into deep non-REM sleep. Please don't worry about wake windows, especially now that they have gone down to 1 nap. Once we have adjusted their schedule to be at about that 12 to 2 or 12:30 to 2:30 time, we can place their bedtime back at their normal time that it was at when they were on their 2-nap schedule. Now, let's solve for overtiredness. What happens if your baby is struggling to really make the push to move to 1 nap? Every 3 or 4 days, instead of making that push 15 minutes later, I want you to offer them 2 naps for that day, just to help them reset. Kind of go back to your old schedule for a day. And then the following day, day 5 or 6, then make that 15-minute push later. Offering them a little bit of reprieve is going to help the body reset, give them a little bit of a chance to rest, and then make a jump forward. So it's almost like anything in childhood development or learning. We take a couple steps forward, and then we take 1 step back in order to make the next leap forward. This phase is temporary, and you are their best teachers. So I know that you are going to do a wonderful job at helping them transition to naps. My favorite part about this is once you're on 1 nap, this is where they'll be until they're about 3 or 3.5. You're going to coast on this schedule for about 2 years, which is lovely. I would love to know all about your journey in the 2-to-1 nap transition. So please leave questions or comments below. And on your way down, give the video a like so that I understand if this type of content is helpful for you as I continue to create more valuable sleep tips for you as an audience. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. I am constantly making new content for all of my families. This is my passion, and I love to interact with everyone to make sure that sleep is something that becomes a priority in your household. As always, from my living room to yours, thank you so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you again next time.